Hello, and welcome back to another episode of The Single Season. In this podcast, we help our single ladies to navigate the sometimes treacherous waters of the dating scene. I am so elated to have a very special guest, so I'm just going to turn it over to her so she can do a very special introduction.
Hey, you guys. It's very nice to meet you. I say meet you like we ain't did this already. But anyways, my name is Samaya. I'm the host of Not Just Another Sex podcast, and I'm also a hands-on sexual educator.
Yes. And we've seen your content, and we absolutely love it. Let me tell y'all something. If you are struggling in your sex life personally or with your partner, Samaya is the person you need to connect with. But we're going to get to all of that when it's time, because I've checked out the content. I'm now a member of the Patreon. I'm getting it together for my husband because we cannot lose steam. Okay. So I'm so thankful that you could be on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I'm so proud of you.
Oh, I mean, you know, we doing some things.
We doing some things. What is it? We the grown women?
Yes, we doing some things. So today we're talking about vulnerability and intimacy during someone's single season. Sure. And so I am sure that a lot of your audience, they're not necessarily in committed relationships, and they're kind of struggling with basically when to give it up.
That's real.
Right?
That's absolutely real.
Like, when do you balance giving it up? How do you know, like, maybe I need to go back a step and deal with the ex because I don't want to add bodies onto my list? All of that kind of complicated stuff, because we are sexual beings, but at the same time, there's a lot of shame that's attached to single women because we want that fulfillment. Absolutely. At the same time, it's you got too many bodies and you a hoe and you a this, right? So as someone who's in the industry, what are some of the conversations that are being had in regards to single women and sexuality?
So I think that everything you said is already just like a great point. And a lot of people don't really address that head on. For me, this is actually something that I've been going through recently. I have not been in a committed relationship for a couple of years now. And so even with my following, they've just been like, Samaya, what's up? Like, are you a prude now? Or you haven't given us any juicy stories or things like that. I have juicy stories. It's just right now I'm in a season of having sex with myself, I would love to have like sex with someone else, but at the same time, it's very difficult when I'm getting exactly what I want. So, for example, in the past, like a lot of my content where I'm talking about different things that I've experienced, they're coming from a moment where I got to try certain things and got to be outside, like threesomes, orgies, like let's try these different toys, things like that. And I absolutely want to do those things again. But I have also grown as a woman personally, who I am as a mother. Like the things that I desire are different. And so I want to have that same type of sex, but I had to be honest with myself and say the fulfillment that I'm missing is to also have that deep, intimate connection with the person that I do these next things with. So I do believe that people have to be honest with themselves and ask, what exactly are you looking for? Because if you're just looking for someone to warm your bed so that way you can feel, like have that physical touch or to get intimate in that way with another person, you have to ask yourself, are you going to try to make that a relationship? Because I can have sexual chemistry with someone. I've had sex, don't get me wrong, but I also wasn't trying to make that a relationship, and a lot of people have great sex with someone or have great sexual chemistry, and then they try to make it something that it's not. But then on the other hand, when you do find that fuck buddy or whatever it is, a lot of times you end up having sex with someone that doesn't actually respect your decision to be able to have casual sex with them. That's why it's so hard to find it, which is why a lot of women will end up going back to an ex or having sex with someone that they kind of can have a relationship with or whatever. I am a very honest person. If all we're doing is going to have sex, you still have to respect me. We have to have a great time together. But we can both know that this isn't going anywhere. It's something that we both choose to do. We're either focused on ourselves right now, but we can fulfill each other in an intimate way, and we can have a great time when we do that. Like we may decide to link up once or twice a month, and we watch some movies and eat some food and have a great time, play some games, and let there be intimate energy and us exchange, me exchanging my feminine, intimate energy with your masculine energy, because we both have needs that want to be fulfilled without you saying that like I'm a hoe or like you thinking like, oh, well, you loose, well, I wouldn't date you anyway. There's not one person that I've had sex with that would not date me in real life. But can we be honest about the fact that, is that really what it is?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I think a lot of people are always trying to make something that it's not, because either they're embarrassed or either they're having sex with someone that doesn't really approve of you just having sex with them.
Okay, so now can we take it a step back?
Absolutely.
So I know that you are an expert in your field, and so your awareness of your desires and how you can position yourself sexually in relationships are probably on a higher level, the highest level in comparison to the average woman. Can the average woman have casual sex? Because what the rumor is in society is that we get attached immediately. If a woman gives a man access, it's because he must be special and she's into him. Does that exist? Does casual sex exist for women?
I think casual sex can exist for women, but also if you don't know your own body, if you don't know your own pussy, if you don't know what it do, if you think that a man is better at sex than you, then it's going to change how you think of them. You putting them on a pedestal instead of putting yourself on a pedestal. I'm a person, nobody can make this pussy talk the way that I make this pussy talk. So it's harder for me to get obsessed or, you know what I mean, get all in my head and create these fairy tale stories over a guy, because at the end of the day, it's a different form of intimacy that I'm choosing to have with another person. My suggestion to these women is to impress yourself first, and then you'll be surprised what you want from someone else. You'll be able to say, oh, this is just something that I need physically. But also, a lot of people don't have their spiritual routines down. Like, their spiritual insurance ain't paid. They don't know how to just be by themselves and say, this is not that. You know what I mean? Like, are you going to tell the truth? Do you know what you want before somebody else is in the picture?
Okay.
Do you know what you want when somebody else is in the picture? Then when that person gets in the picture, are you able to be objective and say, like, okay, sexually here, we do have this chemistry, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But if you don't, then you don't. But at the end of the day, it's absolutely possible. But a lot of people, they're ready to settle. We are so ready to settle. Like, enthusiastically ready to settle. Yes. And so it just depends on where you are. And for me, I have amazing sex by myself, so it doesn't make me thirsty for dick.
Understood.
So,
but now let me tell you, I already see the pushback. I already see the comments. It's gonna say, well, she ain't have it from me. She ain't let me hit. If she would let me hit, she said she know how to let her pussy. But so. What do you, right? That's I can already envision it. So what do you say to women who say, I don't know how to make my pussy talk. I don't know what moves. Like, how do they learn?
Yeah.
They're going to get into Patreon.
Right. So I have this class.
Don't teach too much.
I got you.
All
So
right.
I have this class. It's called Masturbation and Squirting 101. And it's a really good basis for multiple things. It's a great, even if you know how to, even if you've had an orgasm before, it's a great place to start because it teaches you the extent of how to really incorporate masturbation in all different types of things. Masturbation is a great tool to learn how to strengthen your orgasms and elongate them as well. So like you can have a 5-minute orgasm, you know, like you can, yeah, absolutely. Most women are not even using all the settings that come on their pussy. Like they're not doing, they're not having multiple orgasms. And so you haven't even felt the best type of orgasm that you could possibly have. But even in postpartum, or if it's just a desire thing like, oh, I don't get wet the same or things like that, this is a really great tool that can be used before sex starts. Like at the end of the day, having sex with a partner, you're not going to be able to just do everything right away. So having 3 or 4 orgasms before you have sex with your partner is going to amp that level of sex up because now your vaginal walls are going to be more engorged. They're going to be more gushy. They're already going to have, like more like fluid.
Texture.
Absolutely, because you've already had 3 or 4 orgasms. Sometimes everybody pussy don't talk the same. Like it doesn't let go of the same fluids in the same manner. Sometimes you need 2 or 3 orgasms. But also, to your point about, people saying that like, well, you've never had sex with me or you don't know, things like that. I can know that I want to have sex with somebody and also be honest about you and I don't have enough sexual chemistry for the session to be amazing enough. If you talking to somebody, period, it's because you envision yourself having sex with them. If I'm talking to you, it's because I absolutely am rooting for you to hit this pussy. I'm rooting for you.
Eventually.
Absolutely. But just because I'm attracted to you doesn't mean that you have created arousal for me.
Yes.
And even if I'm aroused, it's only going to be good if you actually desire it. There is a lot of lust that's involved in it. And like we try not to say that like good sex doesn't have lust in it. That's just temporary. No, like everybody want a little lust. You want your husband to be like, yo, I saw you on that show. Bring your ass over here. Like you are, everybody want a little, And so I think that a lot of people think that just having sex with someone that you want to have sex with is enough. I know I want to have sex with you, but have we actually created the environment? Can we actually be comfortable enough to say, we absolutely want to have sex with each other, but we really need to set the vibe so that way it's a session. You know what I'm saying? Like, men, they dicks be getting soft during sex as well.
Yeah.
Because they're not really aroused either, you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. So can we just pivot a little bit in
sure.
regards to that for men? So I know that a lot of your viewers are women, but I do know for a fact that you have a significant male following.
For sure.
So what are some of the techniques or strategies or conversations that you have that are targeted towards men?
I teach men to have the same boundaries that I teach my girls. You know, and I say that because it's usually women that's looking for some good dick. It's harder for us to find good dick. So when we find good dick attached to a great man, you're a prize at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's over. So don't stick your dick in everything. That gives you more power. And if you only take scavenger pussy, which means that like you just always accidentally have sex, then how is a woman really catering to you? Is she really sucking your dick or is she sucking your dick and then the same song still on when she done? Like, are you getting what you deserve, like for your body? Can you get a woman to do the things that you really desire in the bedroom? Or do you always feel like you got to take it whenever she offers it? I don't like easy men. You know what I mean? Like, because it's just like, it's given like you don't even know that you a hot commodity, you know? And so I tell them the same things, definitely with boundaries, but also making sure they get into toys. And I say that because a body cannot replace a toy, period. They're two different feelings, but whoever gives the orgasm, that's who gets credit for the orgasm. So if you use a toy on me and I'm sitting there or whatever, in my mind is saying that he gave me that orgasm. I'm not like, oh, that was the rose, not you. No. And most men aren't doing it. So you already set yourself apart. Like she's going to be going up the walls crazy for you. Like you're going to get more trust from her because you're not intimidated by her pleasure and all the things that it can unlock. But also, you know that if you can't last 6 rounds back to back, or if you like, oh, if you suck it again, I can do it again. I did my work at the top. Like, and then you went for 2 minutes and you like, oh, if you suck me again, I'll get it there. That's not fair. You know what I'm saying? Like now, I like to enjoy the pleasure, which is why I don't like 69 too much. I ain't gonna lie to you. But if I did all these
That's
things,
childish. I feel like that was what we was doing in our 20s.
69 is cute, but it's uncomfortable. It looks attractive, but at the end of the day, I want to be able to relax. I done had a long fucking day. Why you eating my pussy? I don't want to have to think about sucking dick and doing it well. Like I don't. So
Somebody gonna give up. Like if somebody gonna stop.
I'm be like, oh, it feels so good. So I don't like doing that. But I tell them all the time, like, use toys because you can be thorough. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Make sure that she's good before you even stick your dick in. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going to put you ahead of the curve. So the same classes that women are taking for their pussy, men, you should be taking the exact same classes. Know how to do shit to her pussy that she don't even know how to do. That's really why women be going crazy now. Y'all stick y'all dick in, and she's like, I don't know how to make myself feel that way. So they always need a man. They always need a man. They always need to have sex. And if you know how to work her pussy better than her, then you got the cheat code.
Got it.
But use your powers for good.
Yes. Good.
Use your powers for good.
So speaking of the word power, I was just about to ask you, you know that there's that expression that says pussy is power or pussy is powerful. How do you interpret that? What does that mean to you?
It depends. I think that pussy is power only matters to somebody that puts pussy on a pedestal. And I guess at this age and at this place, I don't really have sex with men that are fazed by pussy at this point. So I guess it depends on what level you. I think that's a very like a mind game type thing. And I'm past that. I'm not. I think a lot of people think that like, oh, somebody is easy to like get over on because she's so kind or things like that. I give you enough trust until you break it, which means that I treat you with respect. I'm very honest with you. Like I actually don't play mind games, but also when you try me in another way, I correct it right there. My boundaries are very, very strong. So that's exactly why if you see me, you'd be like, oh, you used to have sex with him? Like, he treating you like I literally have fuck buddies that have come in town, like, from the past, and it's like, oh, I'm doing this. I got you a ticket so you could see this or whatever. Like, they treat me with love because I treat them with love. You know what I'm saying? So I think respect is power. I think boundaries is power. I don't think it's the pussy. I think boundaries is power because at the end of the day, men don't value the same things that we value. Men value, like you said, power. What you let someone do and not do to you is really where the power is. And that's not really in the pussy. You know what I'm saying? That's really in everything else. And I've also found that a lot of men think that, like, when it comes to women, as long as he got money, as long as he look a certain way, as long as he's educated a certain point, they like, you would date any of these niggas as long as they got that. They want to feel special.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So they also don't respect anything they haven't earned. They just don't. It's just not, they're not routed like that. That's not what they respect because they feel like if they didn't earn it, you'll give it to somebody else like that because they didn't earn it.
I'm thinking that's universal, right?
Women aren't really like that. They think that something is special. If a man has sex with you, they're like, oh, well, he likes me because he did da 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 da. Our values are different.
I mean, she has to be a foolish woman, I would imagine.
But you're thinking that
shade.
you're special if you get that dick hard. At the end of the day, it's an ego thing. That's also why women get so upset when men don't come during a sex. That they take it very personal because it's an ego boost for women. You know what I'm saying? So what we value is different. And so I feel like boundaries is bigger, is more powerful than pussy. You know, because because I can engage with you and we can have a great time and we've never had sex. Like it's going to take a while to get in these draws.
Understood. You know? So I'm thinking about my ladies who have had one or two partners in their entire lives. Maybe for religious reasons, maybe they got married young, whatever that looks like. Now they're older, now they're separated, divorced. What kind of advice or guidance do you give to your older listeners?
Honestly, I have so many women that are like in their 40s or divorced or like on this new sexual exploration thing.
Yes.
And I always start them with that masturbation and squirting class as well. And I say that because, again, they're learning how their pussy works by themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's different for them. If you've been locked into having the same type of, you could be in a loving relationship and be locked into a certain type of sex. Like, if we be honest, most of us gonna get on our back, we're gonna get bent over, or the legs is gonna go back. Like, I get it, we're very busy people, but at the same time, learning how to speak up for your sexuality, that's another part. If you don't have the tools, then speaking up is going to be difficult because when people are listening, you don't know what to say.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm teaching them like, hey, this toy does this is, and then it's also teaching you how to incorporate that masturbation with the partner. So your level of confidence changes. You know what I'm saying? When you know how your body works. Like, I can't talk to you about dating and be like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. If you're certified, you know that your shit is backed up, right? That's a level of confidence.
And it sure is.
It absolutely is. So like, there's a level of confidence that comes with that. When you take that masturbation and squirting masterclass, you're really getting certified on your own pussy. So can't nobody tell you shit about your shit. You know what I'm saying? So you could speak up. You can also recognize when someone is interested in your pussy or they're interested in you because what your pussy takes now, like they're not willing to do any of the things. It's making it very clear that y'all not on the same page. Like, it's so much power in knowing your own pussy.
Right.
Like, seriously. So that's really where a lot of the ladies start. They also start with accountability with me. I'm really big on that. And a lot of times women are like, well, I've never had this type of orgasm, or my pussy doesn't do this, or doesn't get wet the same. And we can learn all the tricks in the book, but if you fucking the wrong person, baby, you fucking the wrong person. And there's a level of accountability that goes in with that. I can't fix a problem that's just broken.
So what do you mean by wrong person?
If you're having sex with somebody that doesn't encourage you, if you're with the wrong person in life, your body is not going to respond that way because at the end of the day, you're not comfortable. You're making yourself fit somewhere where you don't belong. So I can teach you how to suck a dick from here to Canada, okay? But at the end of the day, if you sucking the wrong dick, you're not going to want to do it. You're trying to figure out why you can't show up in your sex life the way that you want to because your body don't want to be there.
Right. You're unhappy in the romantic relationship.
You're unhappy or for whatever reason. But also there are so many women that are with the man of their dreams. They love them so much, but they don't know why they don't want to have sex. And also when you violate your own consent by having sex when you don't want to, it's not going to help the sex. I think that most people have bad sex because they're choosing to have sex when they really don't feel like it. Think about it. When you married and you love your husband, if he asks you for some pussy, all you want to do is say yes.
Yes.
Because he deserves it, right? But what do you do when he deserves it, but for some reason, you really don't feel like it? You don't even know how to have that conversation. Baby, it's not you. I desire to want to be able to desire you, but I don't even know how to get into it. I'm sorry, I don't know how to suck dick enthusiastically. I'll do it because you deserve it. That's not enough.
That's not enough.
Men love to be desired. If you have a little boy out there, you know that they love compliments and they blush just as much and they need just as much love as little girls. Grown men ain't no different. So when you don't do things to their body like with enthusiasm, it changes things. And you keep having sex with him knowing that you're only doing it because he deserves it.
Right.
And you think you're doing him a favor, but you can feel that. Just like you can feel when somebody, before they eat your pussy, if they take a deep breath, you're like, oh, babe, can you give me some head? And they like, okay. It doesn't matter if they do it. It doesn't matter if they do it the best. You already uncomfortable and insecure because you saw from their body language it's not really something that they wanted to do.
Yep.
There are so many women that are married that's like, I got to take a shot before I have sex with my husband. And you think that he don't notice, but he's having to choose between needing to get a release and not wanting to cheat on you, but also knowing that deep down it doesn't necessarily feel like you're comfortable, but this is all y'all know. Having intimate and real conversations is another thing that older women or women that have been married for a long time come to me for, because they're like, how do I not lose my man and also tell the truth?
Right.
So women violate their own bodies in consensual situations every single day because they feel like this man deserves this pussy.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So
Understood. So a sensitive topic around hygiene
ooh, that's right.
is starting to be had more publicly. And so we want some tips. What are some of the cleansing practices that you advise your clients, your audience, so that these ladies and gentlemen are showing up as their physical best self in the bedroom?
Right. So first things first, everything that goes in your body is going to come out. So make sure that you drink enough water and things like that. Like, it sounds really simple, but I know that I be so busy sometimes. I didn't pick up a drink of water or eat all day, just like being on set, right? So it doesn't mean that you dirty or nasty. It means that you're busy and you need to remember yourself first, right? But second, when it comes to like your cleaning products, I know that there are some doctors that are like, well, you don't need any extra soap or products or anything. You just need warm water or whatever. I'm sorry, this is not warm water pussy. I'm sorry. I work out. I be moving around. Like, I don't like a little musk. I'm sorry, I don't. So for me, I use like feminine soap. You know what I'm saying? And it's very light. Like, it's so light that you can actually use it on your face. You know what I'm saying? You can also use it on children. You know, like, it's a great product to go like when your daughter starts her period or like even for you. And I like it because it already combats the things that give women yeast infections and BV. So a lot of women, they'll take medicine, like over-the-counter medicine, and then they'll end up getting like BV or a yeast infection. Or their own period will give them a yeast infection. I have a product through like Sexual Essentials, my first company, and it's a yoni wash and a yoni oil, and those are two that I suggest people to use all the time. Like, you just put a little bit on your finger and like just kind of like finger it kind of through your lips and things like that, and your natural discharge will get rid of the extra. And so like that has stopped yeast infections in their tracks for me. Like, if I even feel a little bit of a little itch or something like that, I put that on and it's gone like by the next day. But also like for your period, a lot of women, their period stinks. Like, let's talk about it. Like, especially if you're not using all natural products or a cup, which a lot of women don't feel comfortable using yet. So they'll use that tampon still and things like that. Putting that yoni oil on the tampon, you'll have your period and you won't smell anything. Like, even when you're changing, like you're, doing your cleansing practices and things like that. And then the last thing is that your partner should be using the same soap on their genitals that you use on your genitals, you know? So also making sure that you're cleaning properly. You do not put soap actually in the vaginal canal, right? It should be going through the lips and the labias and things like that. And then also for some women, like, hair holds smell.
That was my next question.
Yeah, hair holds
hair
smell.
Or no hair? What's
I'm a
the
no
position?
hair girly, but because like you could take all that shit, I would not be mad. Take it and put it on my edges, okay? Put it there. But for me, it's like I don't like hair because it can hold smell. If you sweat, you're gonna get muskier or whatever faster. But don't get me wrong, like, pussy has a smell. So like, y'all, you can't clean away the smell of pussy. Just make sure that it's clean pussy. Like, pussy still smell like pussy.
Right. There's just degrees of
It's pheromones. Like, and honestly, after you masturbate, you should use your little pussy juice and like rub it right here and then go around your man and see how he act. We are absolutely animalistic creatures. So like a little dab right here and right here. Just watch.
I like that.
You know. For your man, don't be going around with your coochie juices out in public around everybody.
Please. So, I know that there are some people who may be a little afraid to have sex with themselves or sex outside of the institution of marriage, especially some of our ladies who would identify as religious. So what kind of advice do you give to women who would say that they are religious beings, and so masturbation or sex outside of marriage is just something that they don't want to do or afraid to do? What are your thoughts around that?
Well, at the end of the day, when it comes to masturbation, I'm going to talk about them separately. So masturbation is one thing, and then how you choose to embark on sex with somebody else is another thing. I don't understand anything. I'm just very confused around there being laws around my body. So you lost me with that one. You know what I'm saying? So if you listen to this, I have no advice for you. At the end of the day, it's your body, and anything telling you to deny your body in 1 minute and saying that it's only worthy for someone else to touch it, no matter what you believe, you don't follow everything the religion says. It's not to knock anybody at their religion, but your ears probably pierce. You might curse. You might do different things. So don't pick and choose what you want to decide. At the end of the day, I am a spiritual woman, but also I have a faith in God for sure. Like, absolutely. But I also believe in multiple things. And more than anything, I believe in my body, my pleasure, and me feeling the most comfortable in that first. Because the only person that has to walk this life is me, right? So there's that. You're going to have to take that how you will and get into that slowly, right? But feeling uncomfortable in your body is a real thing, you know, and we shame in religion, and I grew up in the church, we shame women to be uncomfortable, and then all of a sudden they're supposed to get married and pop out these babies.
Yep.
And it's like,
the natural progression.
There's none at all. So there's that. When it comes to having sex before marriage, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to test out that car before we drive off the lot. You would not buy a car without testing it. I'm not encouraging you to have sex before marriage, but I will say that I followed the steps. I did not move in. Back in the day, was married. We did not move in until after we were married, and I was big on it. I was like, no, I'm not moving in with anybody until I get married. Ask me now, and I wouldn't move in with everybody. But if we're talking about doing this forever, we need to live together first, because I'm very clear that marriage would have never happened had we possibly lived together for a year before.
Really?
Absolutely.
What was it in living together for X amount of time would have given you insight that you didn't have before?
Well, at the end of the day, no matter what, if you don't spend every day, wake up and go to sleep next to someone, and you're there around when they're having their mood swings, or when they're when they see you in your natural element, or like I found out that I'm on the spectrum for ADHD, those kind of things, you might find out that this person annoys you when you're around them for too long. Like, you can like somebody and still know that I don't need to see them 2 days in a row. You know what I'm saying? And when you're dating, there's a balance between that. Even if you spend it every night together, they're going somewhere else and then you're coming somewhere else. There's a level of excitement to it. But when that honeymoon phase wears off, do you like me? Do you like all of who I am? Because when I hang around my girls, they know all my flaws and all that shit. And I be thinking that they don't see it. And they're like, girl, we know exactly who you are. And I'm like, oh, you guys just like me. You know what I'm saying? I was married to a man for 6 years, and he did not like me. He did not enjoy me. He did not like me in my bad phases. It annoyed him. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that he didn't love me, but at the end of the day, some people are just not your people to do every single thing with. And if we had lived together even for 6 months before the marriage, we would have both figured that out, and that's okay. So I feel the same way when it comes to sexual. So if we're talking about having sex before marriage, what is our contingency plan if it doesn't go well? Because there are a lot of women that have written articles, and they're like, I waited to have sex till I got married, and it was terrible. I didn't have an orgasm. Like, how do I have these conversations now? If we're going to wait until we get married, what is the contingency plan for if that shit sucked? And also have the conversation. The guy should be like, hey, if it sucked, tell me. Don't fake with me. Right. But we take everybody else's pleasure personally. Yes. And that's really a big problem. In marriage, it's just like, oh, it's supposed to be this because I'm the love of your life. People married to the love of their life having the most subpar sex all day, every day.
But it's fixable.
It's absolutely fixable. Like, people cheat. I literally do this because people cheat and they fuck up relationships because they're trying to validate the fact that I do fucking love you, but I am a sexual being and I have desires. At the end of the day, sexual repression only breeds perversion. So if you don't let me let it out, even if you don't orgasm now, you're going to orgasm in your sleep. Men gonna have a wet dream if they don't let it out. It's a physical thing. But in comparison to your marriage, it always gets pushed to the back burner where, like, sex isn't everything, but it's something. And if we're not having it good, it's gonna push people to look for it in other places. So I do this because people are with the love of their lives, and their sex is not the best sex they've ever had.
Right.
It's not. And if you are taking your partner's pleasure personally, then you're never going to be able to get over those humps. Like, people be... Men be with women that they fucking love. Like, they love their dirty ass drawers, and the head be bad, the pussy be dry, and all kind of shit. But he love her dirty ass fucking drawers. And I've watched those type of women be honest, like, no, I gotta work on giving bae head. And it's that desire to be better that makes those men melt for those women. That's like, no, I gotta do better about this, or bae, like, I went to this class, da-da-da. You could be the worst dick sucker in the world, but you tell your nigga that you went to a dick sucking class because I'm trying to be better, babe. He gonna eat the fuck out of your pussy and bend you over, because it's like, you You went to a dick sucking class for
me?
Like,
Yeah.
and even just being able to be honest takes away a lot of the need to hide or anything like that. Like when you can be honest and say, babe, you know, you came quick, I wasn't done. Like, and we can joke about that and say, you right, go get the toy. I felt bad. I feel awkward asking for the toy when it's not right there. So can we like put it right here next to the bed? Like, remember that this needs to be your friend, you know?
Yes.
Don't expect your partner to start lying just because they with you now. Like that's a long life to live, not really being your honest self, and you live with a person. Like, let your partner be a person.
That makes sense. I
know?
love that. Talk to us about the difference between sex and intimacy. I feel like intimacy is a word that's used like as a replacement because people don't want to say the word sex, but sex, intimacy, what's the difference?
So for me, I can be dating someone and they will be a non-sexual partner, which means that we kiss and we touch and we rub and we breathe together. I know it's like, bitch, you talking about breathing together. Well, tantric sex starts with a lot of breathing and feeling the energy moving through your body and things like that. Sex is sex. It's an act. It's oral sex or it's intercourse. It's that particular thing. But intimacy really is what we're talking about when we're talking about foreplay and how we cook together, or me walking around in these thigh-high socks and you just looking at me in a certain way. Like there's a level of intimacy, you laying with me. And when you go out with your boys at night and you come home and all you want to do is lay next to me, it's not really that you wanted to fuck. Like you might want that, but you also want to lay next to somebody that makes you feel good, that smell good, like being up under my like feminine energy and things like that. Like people need to be able to explore. I need to be able to explore intimacy with you before we have sex, because a lot of people are not comfortable in sitting in intimacy. They only know how to have sex, and a lot of people are having sex more than what their body truly desires, because what they really need is intimacy. What you really need is to make out with your man, but you know that y'all don't really kiss like that unless y'all having sex. So now you're trying to have sex when your body wasn't ready for sex, it was ready for kissing. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like I can be honest about that. And if we be honest about it, a lot of men feel that way. A lot of men desire intimacy, but they desire a girl to wash their beard in the shower and just rub on them and rub their face and just, you know, like baby them. I know I love to be babied and spoiled, but you know, if y'all can calm down and not say that everything that a man do is sassy, you might realize that what he really wants is some intimacy from you.
Now.
But if he always got to put in work because you know you only ride for 3 seconds, then you're not getting the intimacy.
You got any classes for that?
Absolutely. Dick Riding 101 as well.
You gonna fix my knees?
I got you.
I don't have making knees.
I had knee surgery and I ride like, and I used to be way bigger than this. And I'm talking about no issues. Like, I'm telling you, the class is everything. You know what? I'm going to send you the link. Send me your email and I'm going to send you.
No, I'm a paying customer. I'm paying. I told you I joined the Patreon last night.
Okay.
And so I'm paying my money.
Well, right now it's a good time because we have all 3 of my master classes. You can get them for the price of one because we're actually reshooting them. So all of that content, I'm just selling it for the price of one master class. It's the mouth master class, the dick riding 101 class, and the masturbation and squirting class. And it's really good information. It's a really good basis because a lot of people aren't teaching people how to do it. Like you on the dick and like you look good. You fine. You fine. But that dick only moving in and out like this because your body not actually lifting up on the dick. And so you think that it's so good that's why he throwing you off and taking over because, he was about to nut. No, baby, because you're not doing nothing. You chair scooting, which is good for your G-spot.
Andrew, you got something to tell me?
You know, babe, look at me. What's going on, babe?
That sounds familiar, Lord Father. I thought I was doing something.
Think about it. When he stroke you, you know how like they'll tease you and it go in and it's like, like you teasing, like put that, give me all 7 inches, you know? They don't want you to just tease them the whole time either, where it's like he's going in and all they feel is like this part going up and down. No, bring your pussy all the way up to them lips where you could feel the head going in. Think about like when they first go in and you go, like keep doing that over and over. And like let your, if you can go up just a little bit more, 6, 7 inches, right? We say it ain't that big. If it ain't that big, then why your ass can't get up off of it? So get up off that 6, 7 inches and let your pussy lips like just play with the tip of his dick. Like now it just feel like, you know what it'll feel like? It'll feel like your lips like sucking on the tip. I feel like good head and good sex feel interchangeable. If you sucking the dick right and if you are using your pussy right, he's not gonna know, is this pussy, is this hands, is this the Gawk Gawk 3000? Like, what are you doing if you use it all correctly? But like, for me, that's the part that's power. Right. Pussy itself is not power, but pussy that know how to get what she wants, that knows how to bring herself to orgasm. Like between all 3 of those classes, what I love is that you can drive the boat by yourself, which means that you can get y'all both aroused. You can get y'all both like ready and do the foreplay by yourself. And you can get on top and take control, drive the boat. And at the end of the day, he can make you a sandwich. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's right.
Show him some love. Because at the end of the day, sex is really hard. It's really hard. And like, ain't nobody teaching them how to do it either. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then they have
porn.
Porn is not it. That's
Yeah, I know.
not. That's not.
I
What
knew
I'm
you was gonna
talking
say that, but I
about.
just wanted to throw it in
absolutely.
there.
You want to make sure that we hit
Yeah.
it. I feel that. That's good. Bring it all together. I feel like when it comes to men, because people calling stuff that they do sassy and things like that, you want him to hit your G spot, but he needs to roll his hips to do a G spot. But you saying that he do that and he's sassy. Now you wonder why you can't get the optimal performance. You know what I'm saying? So like, man, this is a word. Move your hips. Grind into the pussy. Why? Because the pussy is curved on the inside. Your dick most likely straight. Why you think women going crazy for a curved dick? Because once he stick it in, it's right there at the G spot, and you like,
Do that face again. I love that. Did the camera get that? Did you get it? Yes. All right. I love it. So as we wrap up, can you tell us where to find you? Where are the classes? Who needs it? Give us everything, because I'm signing up for everything.
Absolutely. It's the accent for me. Absolutely. Again, my name is Samaya. I'm the host of Not Just Another Sex podcast, as well as the owner of Sexual Essentials. And you can go to my podcast page, Not Just Another Sex podcast. And if you click the link in any of my bios, you'll see all of my stuff. TheSexualEssentials.com has my master classes, that 3-for-1 specials, and the link in my bio. And then also my Patreon. So my Patreon is like $15 a month, but it has over 300 classes, workshops, and hands-on demonstrations. So like there's even some demonstrations of some women that donated their pussy to science. To me, it's not porn. I'm fully clothed, but I hired a videographer and got really close up, and I demonstrated how to do certain things from the masturbation and squirting class, because so many women were like, well, this don't work, da 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 da. You know how when you tell your clients to do something, you could tell that they didn't do it.
Absolutely.
I could tell from what you're telling me that you did not do what I asked you to do. You jumped ahead and did the thing that you wanted to do. You're trying to get to the end where I'm teaching you how to deep throat, but you missed all the stuff before that, and you're trying to wonder why something isn't different.
Yep.
I'm there to teach you how to change your mindset, so you don't have to learn how to have good sex. Good sex just come from you. You know, so like with the Patreon, we have different discussions, we have bonus segments, we have classes that teach you how to do different things. So you don't have to stay on top of your sex life. You can just stay a part of the Patreon, and then I'm giving you the homework. I'm giving you the orgasm challenges. I'm giving you the conversations to have. I'm giving you the guest people. We're doing it's different bondage. Like it teach you how to do rope play, like 3 beginner rope play things. There's different things on there, like different toys to incorporate. It's so much stuff that you don't even have to think. You could just like, guys, y'all could sign up, and the next thing you know, she like, you changing, you change. You ain't got to tell her nothing. You signed up for this, and you like, damn, how you getting into that? Like. All you need to do is find, like you said, hire an expert, find somebody else that will put it at the forefront.
Yes.
As soon as you join, at the end of the day, you're a part of the community, and now you have the community to ask these questions, talk about these things, and then we take requests and everything. It's a community that encourages your sexual wellness and being in an honest place, you know, so make sure you tap in with me.
I love that. I love that. Thank you so much for being a guest. We appreciate you. This was so insightful.
It was good. You hit me with the rapid fire. I was like, she is in there. She was ready.
Yeah. My husband, I'm coming home.
Yeah.
All right. So as we close, I just hope that you guys were able to take away something that I took away, which is you have to do something different to get a different result. So if you are not pleased in your sex life, even if you are absolutely single as a dollar bill, or you are in a committed relationship and you want to show up just a little bit better, you got to do something different to get a different result. That is another episode of The Single Season. I am your host, Allison Wellington, and I hope to see you next time. Peace.